Hello again, friends, and welcome back to this awesome classic episode of Express Lane, where we are looking at some super cool runs, one of which is coming up next, and I was so obsessed with this game as a kid and terrible at it, which is why I'm super excited to see Tornite absolutely destroy this run of Spyro Reignited, the trilogy, and we're doing Year of the Dragon any %. So hello, friend, how are you?
Hello, Oscar. It has been a hot minute, and by a hot minute, I mean like a month ago since the last time I was on this show.
Hey, that's what happens when you submit a run to Hotfix. I'm like, I like this run. Get back on my show.
Yeah, so hello everybody. My name is Tornite, and I'm here to show off one of my absolute favorite speed games of all time. I run a million different games, but this is in my top 3 for sure. The Spyro Reignited trilogy, as Oscar so eloquently said, Year of the Dragon. So we have the Reignited trilogy, done built like over a decade, almost a decade ago. Complete from the ground up remakes of Spyro 1, Spyro 2, and the best one, Spyro 3. And so we are going to go through the entire game, 80%, as I said. So I do appreciate the fact that our estimate is 59.59. So already covering a little bit. Okay, I'll do my best to straddle along and get to under, not sub-hour, sub 59.59. So yeah, so we are ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Spyro Reignited trilogy. Okay, main objective: collect 100 eggs, beat the sorceress, and that's about it. The plot is essentially, the sorceress stole a bunch of eggs. Let's rescue them. Not exactly the most in-depth story in the world, but we are here. We're even not going to pay any attention to the story at all. So we're just here to collect eggs. And as I mentioned, 80% is 100 eggs. So basically, if you're trying to compare this to old school Spyro 3 speedrunning, it'd be not OG 3NE, it'd be OG 100 egg. And all of these eggs are hidden across the entire game. So well, we already found one less than a minute in. Isn't the sorcerer like such a great boss sending henchman to be able to show off, to be able to hide all these eggs? And just like that, we already got another one. So nice. What we did just there was Amy skip. Basically, we're going to be using a variance of these different wall glides to essentially sequence break the entire game. That second egg that I just got probably saves about like 30 seconds over trying to do it normally. This one, probably like on another like near half minute of time save. This egg is supposed to be like one of the last eggs you're supposed to collect in the level, and this will not be the only time where, hey, this egg that we're gonna collect first is actually not going. It's actually gonna be the very first one that we collect. The way progression works in Reignited, or really in Spyro 3, not just Reignited, is that every single level has what we call the end of level egg, and that's usually talking to an NPC, doing some sort of action whatsoever that like completes like the mini story, if there even is one. Just like that, we freed the mayor of Sunny Villa, and just like that, the game has now deemed it, we have beaten the level proper. The way we get to every single hub world is that we need to collect the end of level egg in every single level in this game. However, that's not enough to get to 100 eggs. Imagine if there were 100 levels in this game. Oh my god. Yeah, so instead, we are basically going to sequence break so many of these levels to really be able to get a lot of these eggs that normally would take us forever if we were trying to do this casually. And this is one of the early very stressful wall glides, because not that first one, this second one, because we're essentially going to really, there we go. Beautiful. I call that basically we did a series of 6 wall glides in the first 3 minutes. I call that the 6 for 6, and I'm very happy that we basically did all 6 of them essentially flawlessly. So already a very good start to this run.
Nice.
Also, we just beat the level. We just talked to this one NPC, and boom, we've already been sent to be like, how many minutes are we into? A little over 3 minutes?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, a lot of the cool stuff in this game is you just be able to really get a firm grasp of Yeah, this game, I don't say they kind of rushed it or they took some shortcuts, but the developers really left just enough for speedrunners to be able to take advantage and really kind of break this game pretty wide open, given the constraints that we have in terms of progression. Like, we can't, get to the next hub world without having to beat every single level in this game. Same case actually as the original game. The original game does not have a way to have to skip every single level or every single hub world, like without having to beat every level. But thankfully, this has been mitigated by the fact that we get to show off a lot of really neat stuff. One thing that we'll see as we go through this game is the concept of a perfect hover. In Spyro Reignited, more specifically in 2 and 3, because you don't get the hover ability until Spyro 2, is that a lot of these hovering basically gives you like a nice little flutter at the end of a glide or at some point during your glide, and you'll be able to kind of reach some places that like a regular glide wouldn't be able to do so. However, in the Reignited trilogy, they kind of tooled the glide and the hover in such a way where if at the apex of our jump, if we're able to just like kind of jerk Spyro to the left or to the right, either direction, and we press the hover button like almost immediately afterwards, we're able to get like a lot more basically get a higher height than we normally would, because by doing so, we actually are able to preserve a little bit of Spyro's height that would otherwise be lost if we just did like a normal glide. So we are going to see that, especially starting the second homeworld, just how much the perfect hover just completely breaks how we do a lot of these levels for sure.
And don't mind me, I'm just absolutely like blown away by how you're just decimating this run.
You thought we were decimating? Oh, Oscar, you're not ready. You're not ready for what's about to happen. This is not the hardest trick in the entire game that we're about to do. It is my favorite one to show off to people who have never seen a speedrun of Reignited 3 ever. The Seashell Shore is your first main swimming level. And it's the first time we're going to be able to introduce the main gimmick of Spyro 3, which is being able to play as these side characters of different animals that kind of, change up the gameplay a little bit. So it's not just Spyro all the time. However, we are supposed to free our first character, Sheila the kangaroo. However, we have, in order to access any minigames that she may be involved in. However, we have not done that yet. So how are we supposed to do that? Simple. We get kind of just crushed by this barrel, and we go out of bounds and go into the portal that is normally locked at this point in the game, and we just get to play as Sheila.
That is awesome.
And just like that, it gives us access to 2 relatively quick eggs, or rather, the first one is a quick egg. The second one, it takes a hot minute. However, it's kind of one of those, you're already here, you might as well do it. And not only that, you also do get a decent amount of gems, which is the other main collectible in this game. Gems don't particularly play as big a role in this game as opposed to Spyro 1, or even in a casual playthrough of this game where you have to pay money bags, the greedy bear that is going to be at your doorstep every single way of this adventure. However, because of the way we've been sequence breaking a lot of these levels, we have not really seen that Moneybags was actually at a couple of points in this adventure already so far. But because we were able to kind of access areas that we normally were not supposed to in ways that the game was not intended for us to access, we're able to save up a lot of gems, so much so that the current route has us only collect 2,300 gems. And we only really need to focus on the first 2,000, because once we get past the 2,000 mark, the final 300 gems are we're not even going to have to worry. We will naturally collect them. In fact, I'm willing to bet by the time we're going to be asked to pay the final 300 gems, we're going to be at 430, 440. That's how simple it is to collect the gems by the end of the game.
That's cool.
And by the way, if anyone, this episode obviously is themed around, going back to the classics. Oh, wait, did I not? I could have sworn I put in the retro Spyro skin. Oops, that was my bad. I was going to point out the fact that, hey, you get the retro Spyro skin for this episode. I'm a liar. I apologize.
That's all good.
All right, let's see. We didn't get the good Bluto. Oh, wait, no, we did get good Bluto. This is a bit of an RNG mess, this little mini boss fight. Depending on who you ask them on the top runners, they will either do this fight or not do this fight at all and go for like a later fight that is very much like hardly any RNG at all. Actually, there is no RNG. It's very cycle based, but it can be a potential volatile one in a massive time lapse if you're not able to just get the cycles right on a submarine minigame that we'll not see for another, like, I don't know, half hour from now.
Oh, jeez.
And now we're already basically, I already kind of lost track how many eggs. We already got plenty of eggs. We're not even 10 minutes into the run. But now, we're over a fifth of the way done. But we are kind of a little bit low on gems. We are already at a point where we can buy Sheila's freedom from Moneybags. Because we only need 300, but we are going to need 700 for the next character. And this is where Mushroom Speedway comes into play. It's your classic Spyro flight level, speedway level, obstacle course. You have a time limit. However, in this one, it is the most rewarding out of all three games, where in the original game, I think in both Spyro 1 and Spyro 2, you only get like 200. In this one, you get 300. Actually, no. I think you actually get 400 in the Spyro 3. And that is a huge chunk of change because 400 is 1/5 of the gems you need for the first three characters in the run. So hopefully I'm able to keep the cycles on these butterflies. And just charge into it. Oh, nice. Finally! I've been struggling with Mushroom Speedway as of late, so I'm very glad I was able to get for it. 46 seconds, actually not bad. That is a pretty solid time. And then we're going to go through our one and only time we get to play as Hunter, a character introduced from Spyro 2, and it's just a shoot the UFOs minigame. How did I miss that, dude? I don't know. That UFO had like Ultra Instinct on. I have no idea how he dodged that one.
He was using cheat codes, clearly.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, this game does have cheat codes. Spyro 3 does have cheat codes, so maybe there's some hidden tech that we have not discovered that the sheep know. Maybe that sheep knows something we don't.
Now, I know you'd mentioned, I think in your submission, it's like, this one is by far the favorite and best of the Spyros. Why is that for you?
Okay, admittedly, it is nostalgia. Okay, no, it's not fully nostalgia because I played all three games when I was a little kid. I owned Spyro 1, I owned Spyro 3. I would rent from Blockbuster Spyro 2 to the point where it actually made no financial sense to actually keep renting from Blockbuster, but, what do I know? I was 7 at the time. And, but no, overall, I do love Spyro 3. I love the movement that he has, even in the original game where it's like, it's not as like grounded. It's like you get to play a little bit from with Spyro's like jumping, whereas you get a little floaty, and I kind of like that in when I'm doing platformers, like just having your character be like very floaty. And I also just really like the variance in the different play styles, like Sheila the Kangaroo, focusing a lot more on like vertical platforming. Our next character, Sergeant Bird's going to be focused more like on aerial combat. Bentley can insult because I don't like playing at Bentley. I've never met a single person who's ever actually liked playing at Bentley, but we have to play at Bentley. And his annoying twerp brother, who I'm not even going to say his name properly when we get to him. Don't worry about it. But yeah. So far, this run has actually been going extremely solid. But yeah, Spyro 3, I personally love this game. I know some people that are like, I don't like Spyro 3 nearly as much since it's like, it suffers from like third game items where like they kind of throw a lot of stuff at the wall just to change things up a little bit. I personally like it. I like how like different the game kind of behaves with like, it's not Spyro all the time. And not only that, you get like to introduce the Sparks levels, which I kind of like them. I liked them when I was a kid. I was terrible at them, but I did like them with playing like the. I forgot what it was like. One of those like top-down shoot 'em ups. If I remember, I think that's what they're called.
Yeah, that'd be a shmup.
All right, and just like that, we've already beaten the first homeworld. Midday Garden. Now we're going to Midday Gardens and going into our first boss fight. Buzz, or giant ugly green Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
But yeah, by the way, I'm very happy for everyone tuning in. It is an incredible honor to be back here on Hotfix and here on Express Lane with the wonderful, wonderful Asuka. Wow, my game, I think just lagged horrendously. It's fine. We're able to push Buzz into the lava. I took that damage on purpose to kind of just interrupt the cycle. The buzz cycle. It's very long. You want to try your best to kind of mitigate the time as much as possible, and some of it includes taking damage and just kind of interrupting the cycle just so we can get to the next phase. And some of it also includes like if you stand like at a certain spot. Oh, beautiful. Ooh. Beautiful. Didn't have to take damage there. That is truly optimal. It is extremely... No. Sheila, why? That's fine. It's fine. Not mad. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. This is definitely one of the major run killers in the early game, because like you do not want because you can get potentially trapped in there. This involves help, but hey, it is fine. We march on forward and we get through this game, and hopefully Sheila doesn't interrupt things. Oh my god, 2 in a row. I've never had that in a row. 2 in a row.
All right, Sheila, behave.
I'm gonna take the damage. I have more than enough health for this. I'm gonna take the damage. I did not like where... Oh. Normally, we're able to pull it off on phase 3, but to pull it off twice on phase 2, twice in a row, I'm gonna be honest, silver linings and everything.
Yeah. It's like in the interim, I know, or in the meantime, there were a couple comments earlier about the 59 on your estimate. So you can actually thank our wonderful producer, Richard, for that.
Third time today. The old marathon saying, "Oh my god, I've never seen that before." But usually, that's usually a bad thing. This is actually a good thing. One. This would have been a gold split if this was on the first attempt.
Yeah, our wonderful producer for Express Lane, Richard, thought of that cheeky 59 many moons ago related to Express Lane, since this show is specifically for 60 minutes less or less. I remember the first time I saw that, I was so glad I had my mic muted because I was laughing uncontrollably when I saw that.
Yeah, no, it is a great bit.
I love it. It's the simple things, I swear.
All right, second homeworld, Midday Gardens. This is where kind of the game starts to really take like a bit of a dramatic jump in difficulty with some of these stuff and some of the not so nice things this game will throw at you. Let's see if I can. Okay, good. That is there's sometimes, very rarely, there is like a platform or there's a hitbox that like pushes Spyro down and just essentially like pushes Spyro to his death. Thankfully, nothing there. All right, so now I mentioned perfect jump from the get-go. Now we are going to actually see it in action and just kind of go to a platform. Spyro is not meant to go at all. Like, this is not, or rather, like, not through this means. And already we are here at, this is like the end of the level. We just need to light up this final rocket and we are good to go.
Jeez.
Oh, nice. Gotta get those extra 2 gems. My gem counts aren't like something you have to stress about too much. Although I will say, admittedly, it is a tiny bit low. I wish it would be like, I think I'm about like 20 gems under. Not the worst thing in the world. There are so many ways to kind of recover the gem count. It's not a run killer whatsoever, but it is something that like, for a lot of like runners and like upper echelon runners who have like a sub 50 in with the load remove timer, which is how we time this game for leaderboard. It is something that we kind of keep more and more attention to, but it is something that like is one of those things where like if you get really unlucky and just don't grab a lot of gems early, you kind of have to like reroute how a little bit some of your movement in order to be able to access to be able to get to that final 1,000.
Sounds.
And also, we kind of skimmed over this entire Tony Hawk segment because listen, this game came out in 2000. Like, of course, like you have to have a skateboarding section. Like, now, Metal Gear Solid 2 had a skateboarding mini game.
Oh yeah,
you know that's how much the skateboarding genre ran deep in the early to mid 2000s in specifically PlayStation games.
Just one of those things had been.
Yeah, and I remember the Disney skateboarding minigame, which actually I believe used the engine from Tony Hawk 3, and just they sort of like just put it as, I'm not even kidding. Like you look at how from the UI, it's straight up lifted from Tony Hawk 3.
I believe it.
Okay, Icy Peak is one of my absolute favorite levels to show off like a lot of the movement tech in this game. Because first, we're gonna start out with this hugging the wall right here with one perfect hover. And then 2 perfect hovers. By the way, this is supposed to be the very last egg you're supposed to collect. Again, with the theme, final egg. Actually, no, it's the first one we're gonna collect in the level.
Of course.
And now I could break open that ice wall to go the long way to get this egg, but where's fun in that? When I can just get a nice little glide into Maynard. Which, by the way, chat, what has been your favorite egg name that we have seen so far? We haven't gone to like personally like the really good ones in this game. Obviously, we're starting out with Chet. Any Chet fans in chat?
I'm just curious where they got all these names from.
Some of these names I am questioning. Right. It's funny. When in Enter the Dragonfly, they kind of did something similar. With instead of naming eggs, they named dragonflies. But the names kind of got a little bit more like that's kind of like out of left field with the name conventions. However, there's a few eggs that I personally love their names. One in particular is a super fan favorite, so much so that it's like a tradition, like a category extension. I'm not going to spoil the name. I will point it out when we get to it. The category is literally collect that egg and that's it, just because of how silly the name is. All right, now we're finally in Sergeant Byrne. That's the second character. His whole thing is just you fly around and you shoot rockets. That's pretty much it. The story of this level is the sorcerer basically kidnapped all the hummingbirds, or most of the hummingbirds that are in the base, because the Sergeant Byrne is he's a sergeant, but I guess actually we never really established if it's like an army, like an active army or something. But either way, we're supposed to free, or at least one of the acts is supposed to free the hummingbirds. We're not going to free a single one in this entire level. It's literally the end of level egg is just an escort mission to the halfway point of the level. We actually don't even get to see. There's an entire second half of the level that we do not get to see because we just beat the level right here and now.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, no hummingbirds for anyone. And I am seeing also in chat one Dylan J. Fox who fellows SRT3 lover and also ran OG Spyro 2 at GDQ. So shout out to Dylan, who just had an absolute stellar for run, and also a stellar for run at Oops All PlayStation this past weekend. Absolutely stellar OG Spyro 3 any run.
Yeah, GG's to that.
All right, I kind of did a very quick little quit game and then continue for two reasons. One, to recover Spark's health to full. Secondly, for whatever reason, this level in particular has a weird little quirk where, quote unquote, the level starts, but you cannot control at all. In fact, all you get is a black screen for like 5 seconds while the music's playing. By the way, we just beat the level.
Nice.
The explanations take longer than actually beating the level, which I think is actually really, really funny.
That is fantastic.
Everyone say hi to Frank. Oops,
hi, Frank.
I accidentally forgot to go up. The menu selection was still stuck on quit game, not exit level. There we go. Now we quit the game. Now we exit the level. Oh my god. But yeah, so far so good. We're now about to enter our next level, Bamboo Terrace, which I just mentioned Dylan J. Fox. We're about to execute a very, very unique, pretty advanced version of the wall glide to sequence break. Basically, play the level in reverse, and thanks, bunnies, where it's going to take a lot of setup. Hopefully, I'm able to get it like effortlessly, but it is definitely... Let's see if I can get the 2 for 1. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we basically grabbed 2 eggs for the price of 1 to just get me a little bit closer to Bamboo Terrace. And let's see, 328 gem count. A little low, but you know what? Still very, very much manageable. Okay, so normally we're supposed to, help the pandas from not being bullied by all the Ronaks. Instead, we're just going to go over here. Yeah, and a little to the right, and there we go.
Nice.
And just like that, we have reached the end of the level. SRT3 Any has so many really cool things in terms of like how to play levels in very unintended ways. Like this one where we are waiting for a sound cue, where I wasn't even listening for a sound cue. I'm just, that go-to where I don't even need to wait for the sound cue. If you're playing this game and you did what I just did, on your left headphone, you would have heard like the ooh from the thief signaling that he's about to start running. That one thief chase where it has the egg and you got to flame him to collect the egg, can only go one way, meaning that if we just beat him to the landing spot at the end of the bridge, we just flame him and no problem whatsoever. So I'm very, very happy we kind of go for it, because it is quite a bit of a journey to grab that egg if we actually miss the timing here. All right, who's ready for some RNG?
Always.
Or specifically 1/3 RNG. Spiked a pretty straightforward fight. There's 3 phases, and you basically have to deal with, hitting him with collectibles that you get throughout the level. The first one is the RNG part. So I'm hopeful that I get favorable. I'm going to bait him into charging me. Ooh, very nice. Okay, now I just need to wait and... Oh my god, beautiful rock RNG. And my joystick just decided to move. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Just gotta wait. Oh, are you for real? Oh my god, thank goodness. Yeah, no, this is... It's a pretty volatile fight on that first phase, but second and third phase are actually even easier because it's not RNG. You just gotta follow where Sergeant Bird is flying to. And usually you can more or less time when he's gonna drop it. I believe I don't know the exact timing, but it is pretty cycle based. So not gonna have any problem. He's gonna drop it in 3, 2, 1. Now it's gonna, oh, he's also not gonna try to center. He should. There we go. All right, easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, we can get the what we call the early whirly, where basically we kind of just go all the way off to the outer ring, and if we do a head bash right as the egg collecting cutscene starts, we basically save ourselves like not 4, like 2 to 3 seconds from the animation of Spyro just like having a nice Sunday trot to the whirly gig. And listen, this is Express Lane. We only have 59 minutes and 59 seconds to beat this game. So, andale, Spyro, come on. But yeah, if there are any questions for anybody that is like curious in chat about anything specific, curious about the game and learning about this game, Reignited. So there are 2 Spyro speedrunning servers. There's like the OG Spyro speedrunning server, and then we have the Reignited server. And we have plenty of people who are more than happy to help out anybody who is curious about learning the game for the first time, whether it's Reignited 3, 2, 1, all 3 at the same time. You wanna go for like a trifecta category, which they can be very fun, even if they can be a little bit, time consuming for sure.
Well, and a big question I always have for like the remastered or remakes versus the OGs, like how different are the runs between just looking at Year of the Dragon?
When it comes to Spyro 3, it's very, very different. Like I said, this is Reignited 3 any. However, if you were to compare this to its PlayStation 1 counterpart, you wouldn't even look at original 3 any percent, because the original 3%, original 3 any percent. Can you tell English is actually my second language? The original 3 has a skip into the final boss core that you through a trick called Helmet Proxy. Or there's multiple, but the most popular one is Helmet Proxy, where we don't actually need to collect 100 eggs to fight the sorceress. Reignited does not have that. So one way to look at it, if you wanted to look at it side by side, would be to look at 100 egg, where you still do a lot of really interesting tricks. Tricks that are original exclusives, such as the famous swim in air glitch, where you can just swim, depending on that texture of the water where Spyro's at, you can trigger Spyro being able to walk on water. By the way, this is the egg that I was referring to, the one that is a category extension by itself, Noodles. We just straight up call Noodles percent, and everybody loves Noodles. So, chat, say hi to Noodles.
Hi, Noodles.
But yes, the original OG 100 egg does have some form, does have plenty of sequence breaking, but they are done kind of in slightly different ways. I run original 100 egg as well, and one of my favorite things is just kind of seeing that like there are slight variations on how you actually beat some of the levels, but done is like you get the same. The best way I can describe it is like, imagine you're trying to take a train, and ooh, nice Sam skip. We save ourselves like 20 seconds, just from getting a really well-timed damage abuse there. Like, imagine like, OG 3 any is, or 100 egg is, you're going to a destination by train, and then sometimes your Reignited is like taking a plane or some other form of transport. It'll get you to the same spot, but there are slight different ways in how you're able to get to the same destination, and kind of more or less in the same manner of transport.
That makes sense.
But like, for example, Reignited does have some exclusive, you know, the wall glides are much more prevalent in Reignited to be able to access some of these eggs that we normally don't have access to. The other thing is the fact that proxies aren't really a thing in Reignited. OG has proxies up the wazoo, where you're able to just kind of get unbelievable height just everywhere and just access things that you're really not supposed to, like even more so in some cases than Reignited. But they both have kind of like their own charm. One of the things I loved doing last year in 2025 was a category that I didn't create. Again, shout out to Dylan J. Fox. A category we call 200 egg, where you do OG 100 egg and then Reignited 3 any in one sitting. And it's really interesting just kind of seeing how tackling the same levels in different games kind of just impact the way you kind of view speedrunning original Spyro versus Reignited Spyro. And it's also like a great way to challenge your muscle memory in both games, because oh boy, if you're like me, you are gonna end up doing Reignited strats in OG, and you're gonna end up doing OG strats and Reignited, and you're gonna have a bad time.
That totally makes sense.
All right, anybody remember this really annoying Jack and the Beanstalk minigame? And everybody just like hating having to go through the puzzles? Don't worry, we are just going to very, very easily beat both halves of the puzzle. In fact, so much so that we're not even have to do the final mushroom puzzle here. Shout out to Jack with the fit. Like, Jack has a gold necklace with his name. That takes a level of confidence to be able to wear jewelry with your name engraved on it.
Right. Especially with it's like, what are those like little tiny necklaces with the cursive names on? Okay, fine, but like big honking letters, yeah.
But yeah, thankfully, we're able to get through this very, very easily just because perfect hovers are a thing. It's also really cool just seeing how in a lot of different ways you're seeing, like, if you were like, we actually have something very similar for the Jack eggs that we just collected right there without the need of a perfect hover. So it's kind of like small, like subtle differences of doing the exact same thing. It just depends on like the movement engine and how the game is made. By the way, shout out to everyone who is currently going through what I'm going through in the United States with the polar vortex and the snowstorms and everything. It is, I can't lie, I was worried that there was a chance I was not going to have power and be able to do this run. I had work today, and we had a snow flurry, an Amber Alert for a snow squall in the middle of the work, and I had to dig snow and shovel snow out of where I was working just to be able to get out of the way. And speaking of getting out of the way, we're just gonna get out of the intended path and go through this one little platform. Oh my god, thank goodness.
Ooh, there it is.
That perception did not fail me in this one.
Yeah, it's been a nice balmy 4 degrees here. We only got maybe like 2 inches of snow. We just got the bitter cold.
You got 2 inches of snow? I got 14.
Oof. I know one of my friends sent me a picture of their parking lot. It's like, so this started about a couple hours ago and it's already massively built up on their SUV. I was like, well, enjoy. We'll just be freezing over here. It's fine. Yeah. We've wind chills anywhere from, I guess, negative 11 outside right now. And it's like negative 20, 25. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll take the snow over the cold, or the bitter cold. Yeah, someone in chat, I prefer the bitter cold. Someone had 2 inches of ice. My friend, I am so sorry.
2 inches of ice?
Ooh.
Oh my god, you're not gonna love this next level because it is cold and icy. You're not gonna love this level.
Someone mentioned 18 inches. Yep. Oof.
18? Oh my.
Shout out to all of us being nice and cozy and watching Hotfix right now and not outside.
Yeah, please. Right now, I'm wearing 2 layers of long sleeve shirts and 2 layers of long sleeve pants with the heater on in like the mid to 70 degrees. And I feel like I am now just suddenly, okay, I'm nice and warm. And normal people would be sweating so much from this heat.
Jeez. Like, the 2 inches of ice was in the south. That's like shut down everything status, even for the north. Oof.
Yeah. Oof. Okay, let's see if I can get this quick Hannah jump. It looks good. There we go.
Nice.
Oof. That is, again, this is obviously too early to tell, but if everything goes well, this has a shot at being like a gold split. Also, shout out to me recovering gems. I was under gem the entire run, and I managed to get it all the way to a perfect 1,000. It's like, you love to see it when that happens.
Nice.
So that's 2,000 gems collected, and now we only need 300. And trust me, I'm not even gonna care about the gems that we collect. But we're gonna have so many by the end. It's ridiculous. Now, what is not ridiculous and also ridiculous at the same time is I'm taking this level to explain what's gonna happen next because it does require a lot of explanation. Rocket storage. So after this, we're going to go through our... I missed the cycle. That's real unfortunate. That's fine. Only a 6-second time lock. Not the worst thing in the world. So the way rocket storage works with this next fight, the objective of that trick is that Bentley is going to throw 2 rockets, red and green. And the way it works with what he throws, at first it's very RNG. Afterwards, it's less RNG, but you can sort of manipulate things. Bentley has 2 red rockets and 4 green rockets. They both do the exact same amount of damage, but red rockets give you 50 ammo, green rockets only give you 1, but it just follows Scorch around and hits them. You want to try to get a red rocket at like early on the fight to have as much ammo as possible, with the objective being get 2 red rockets out on the field and don't collect them, because he kind of has like an internal like ammo count. So if he sees that there are 2 red rockets out on the field, he's not going to throw any more. Same with the green rockets, but with 4. So it's essentially trying to get Bentley to throw a green rocket at roughly the exact same frame we get the last hit on Spike. And there's a lot of RNG in regards to this, and it can be quite volatile if we don't. And the reason why we do this is because the next level after this, we are going to skip a money bags check that would require us to get 1,000 extra gems, which no, we're going to take an eternity getting an extra 1,000 gems. And it also gets us access to 5 eggs like almost immediately if we're able to execute this trick. So this, with accompanying music being just as deadly, oh boy, you're gonna hear me like towards the end of the fight count to 9 because it roughly takes about 9 seconds to. Oh come on, roughly takes about 9 seconds. Ah, beautiful! You went to the right side, to the good side. It's a red. Yeah, it's. They do have a timer, so they can potentially despawn. So I'm gonna collect that second red as a safe strat. And okay, 3 reds in a row. Okay, I'm real happy about that. Can we get 4? Okay, that's fine. I believe there's enough hits to where we can have the entire field filled with green rockets and still be on cycle, hopefully. Although I would rather Bentley not throw 4 green rockets. And I have no idea what he threw. That he threw. Oh, he threw. Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay. Unfortunate that interrupt the cycle. Oh, perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, no. Oh, wait, that's actually... Oh, wow, it actually... 3, 4, 5. Ah, I missed it. That's unfortunate.
Oh.
That's unfortunate. That's fine. We have a backup for it. It does require us having to fight the second boss again. I could try for another attempt, but I want to try to see if I can keep this under the 59:59. It is going to take us a couple of minutes. That's fine. It's going to be redemption for the Spike fight. It's just going to be redemption. But yeah, no, it is an extremely volatile trick. It's not the hardest glitch in all of SRT. You can very much argue it is maybe the most pressure-packed trick or glitch to execute in all of Reignited, because you still have an entire quarter of the game left to deal with.
Oh, jeez. And like, just the fact that it's volatile doesn't like it automatically like cranks up the difficulty, because of like you all set up for it, and the game is just gonna be like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, so it's going to be not the same concept, but somewhat similar. There's small parallels where you basically want to try and get a hit in while you have ammo on the field, and it'll be free to collect, and it's going to be and we call this purple rock, because it's basically like he drops a purple rock and we're just kind of there, and we're just kind of done. And oh, damn, wow, Bentley, chill, dude, chill.
Like,
all right, that is fine. We're actually not going to take out Spike yet. I keep calling him Bentley. Maybe subconsciously I want it to be Bentley, so that for that. But
I'm just picturing Bentley the turtle now, just doing this fight.
You know what's funny? Okay, we have executed the trick. You know what's funny? I was out on VC earlier. Actually, I think it was yesterday, where I was someone mentioned Bentley, but like the sly Bentley, and right. I thought I was like, the hippo, and then people had to correct me. I was like, no, the hippo is Murray. Murray's the hippo. Bentley is the turtle.
So yeah, somebody in chat, I was thinking about the turtle the whole time. Yeah, didn't you know in the Reignited trilogy, they just crossed all the streams at some point?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Next mission Spyro is going to be smacking eggs with Sly's cane. That's fine. Crash's mask is going to show up now. Over the dragonfly. Oh my gosh. Mario's going to show up very confused.
Yeah, okay, so now comes the trick. First, I'm actually going to collect an egg and try to see if I can avoid talking to Bianca, who we only got to see one time, which is like the tall bunny girl who is the sorcerer's right-hand woman, second in command, where the subplot of this is like, oh no, you mean the evil sorceress is actually evil? Who would have known? And they just start a romance subplot with Hunter.
Nice. Why was he not laughing?
And if I can avoid this, I think we're good. Yeah, the cutscene trigger is very, very large. I'm very happy we actually got through it.
Very good.
And just like that, we now shoot infinite purple rocks. And by infinite, I mean until we get this plaintiff, we go all the way up here, and boom. We now have easy access to 5 eggs, and we already collected 1 of them. And didn't even have to pay money bags 1,000 gems. So if I hit rocket storage, it would have been basically literally the exact same end result, except instead of purple rocks, it would have been a green rocket.
Oh, that's cool. Not gonna lie, when you started rolling down the rock, I was like, oh oh no, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh no, no, we just roll down. The swag strats are real.
Hard agree.
All right, we collected 3. We are well on our way to getting those 100 eggs. This is where kind of like, actually no, the difficulty doesn't really ramp up from here on out. We only have like, I would say 1 more hard level, and the other 2, they're not easy, but they're not like difficult per se.
I'd say, Chad, if you missed seeing just how quickly those eggs were captured, because I blinked and Tori got all of them. So if you missed that, don't forget we do have our awesome VODs over at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. If you're watching over there, hello from the past. You should head over to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick and watch us live so you can interact with us, chit chat with all of our wonderful runners and commentators, like our wonderful runner, Tora Knight here. And we can talk about these absolute banger mashups I'm now getting in chat right now about Aku Aku, and I wish it was Bentley the Turtle. I'd destroy that guy. My God.
There we go. And just like that, we just beat the level.
Wait, what?
Yeah. That's torch jump. That torch had a very minuscule hitbox, enough for Spyro to step on, and stay with me, perfect hovers, we're able to access it. And just like that, we beat the level. I mean, beating the level doesn't really matter much in the final homeworld because the objective is now just get 100 eggs and that's it. But it is a very nice, easy egg to collect. And oh my goodness. There we go. Tanks can be okay. This is somewhat of a redemption mini game, a redemption egg, because the last time I was on Hotfix, with this game, the game crashed at this specific mini game.
Oh no.
Yep. So if I can just get a nice, well-timed, no. Unfortunate, not on the, did not get the. Oh, come on. Hitboxes for these are incredibly bizarre. And also, Mike, I've never seen that one hit so far. Oh, very good. Nice snipe from behind. And then, last but not least, see if I can. There we go. Okay, that was a nice one. Okay, I'll take a 2 for 3 on the tank snipes. I'll take a 2 for 3.
And best part, no game crash.
No game crash. Yeah.
There you go.
That's the real win. All right. And if I can just avoid getting hit, I hate this one segment. There we go.
Very nice.
Oh, there we go. There we go. That was a solid. That was aside from honestly pretty solid. Haunted Tomb. Haunted Tomb is definitely, if a run were to like, I've seen so many top level runs. Like if they get rocket storage and they're on a good pace, this is usually the level where it like runs die. It is because like one mistake and you're already you're down like 4 seconds. Like even just one teeny tiny thing.
Oh,
so very happy that that it kind of worked out.
Yeah, it looked pretty solid.
All right, time to see if I can finally. I'm not sure. I think maybe I only hit it once, but by and large, I've been very unlucky with this next wall glide in marathon runs. So fingers crossed that I'm able to get this. Ah, beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. That saves a few seconds because the alternative would have been to just go back to the start of the level and then run for the level like normal. But doing that very fancy wall glide definitely is a nice time saver for sure. Let's see if I can jump over these bullets. Nice. There we go. This is definitely one of those levels where it kind of sneaks up on you if you're not careful, but you know, this is Hotfix, this is Express Lane, Asuka's watching, the world is watching, and I gotta show off.
Oh, always gotta show off. Swag for the win.
Yeah, I'm swag for the win. You know what it's all about.
As mentioned earlier during the SM6, always gotta go for the Jacobo Reds.
Oh my God.
The Fahrenheit eggs.
Yeah, shout out to Jacobo. That was I was watching the entirety of that run while I was in the green room, and I got first of all, GG's Jacobo, what a run! And I've never seen Jacobo Reds before. That was amazing.
This has been a fun episode. Just all of the super cool tackling, especially Nights and Dreams. Like just watching Nights. Anytime I watch Nights, my mind is blown. So, like y'all are doing absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that is, it is absolutely incredible just how many talented runners there are in this entire hobby.
And just how, like, just all of the types of games. Like, yeah, and after this, we're going to Mega Man, which was one of my favorite game series growing up.
Oh yeah, shout out to Mega Man in general, but man, I'm such a fan of like the OG Mega Man, which is funny because I didn't grow up playing classic Mega Man. I started playing like the original Mega Mans when I was like 20, and I like absolutely loved them.
So there was a shirt, I think sold at like Hot Topic many moons ago, that had the Mega Man 2 robots. It said, "I beat the 8 Master Robots," and I was so adamant. It's like, I am not going to buy this shirt, even though I love it, until I can actually say legitimately, "I beat the 8 Master Robots." The same
awesome.
day I finished it and I bought that shirt.
Oh my goodness. I can buy that shirt because I've legitimately beaten Mega Man 2 through 4.
Nice.
And gotten very heavy progress in 5.
Very nice, very nice. I think the funny part, the best part about all is I actually wore that shirt to a band camp that I was a camp counselor for, and sure enough, that same day, somebody else that was a camp counselor in the same track as I was also wearing that shirt and had the same. It's like, I'm not buying this until I beat him, and I was like, me too. Nope, nerds are everywhere. Just saying.
That is awesome. All right, we basically have pretty much beaten all the levels needed to. So now we're essentially doing a nice quick roundup of any leftover eggs. Remember those 300 gems I was telling you about? What was the number I said? 430? 440? 439.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how the game is played. There's a reason why my live split has between the PC version and the console version. Like, I think it's like, I don't know, like 1,200 run attempts.
Ooh. Also, shout out to a comment I saw earlier in chat. Moneybags is the true villain of this game. Real though.
He is.
Real.
He is. So much so that the real catharsis. Oh, come on. The real catharsis from that after you beat the final boss, it's just keep beating up Moneybags and getting all your gems back. There we go. Really unfortunate I have to take that second lap, but that is fine. I just need to have a wicked sorceress if I can get under to be able to get underestimate. That is my hope. I want to get that sub hour. At the bare minimum, this is a much better run than the last one was on Hotfix, which, by the way, shout out to Anarchy for having me on for that run. I think it was last May on Hidden Heroes. Shout out to all the Hotfix showrunners. Like, all of you just absolutely knock it out of the park with your shows, with having so many talented and entertaining runners on there. I feel at times I feel like a small fish in a very, very big pond of amazing runners, but just to be on here is a blessing in and of itself.
Hey, all we do as showrunners is we introduce the show and introduce the real people that matter, and that is the runners and the commentators, because y'all are. We wouldn't have Hotfix shows without you, and the viewers are here to watch the awesomeness that you provide, which you are currently providing right now.
All right, let's. This would take a near gold sorceress, but you know what? Let's see if I can. Let's see if we can pull it off. If the load can just hurry up, come on, load.
The load's like, oh, you want me to hurry up? That'd be funny if I just took my time now.
All right, 3 phases on the sorceress. There's a tank phase. Ken phase, tank phase, UFO phase. 2 hits for the phase 1, and 3 hits on the next one. And it's all about Ancient 9. By the way, that's the character that. Okay, great timing. I can just okay.
Sources, please.
All right. All right, not a bad start. Let's see if we can capitalize on that. That was phase 1. Phase 2 is also pretty easy if I can just get the time, get some really. The name of the game is anticipating where the source is going to be and where your hits are going to be. Ah, come on. There we go.
Ooh, nice.
And last up, we have the UFO phase. Okay, time is coming up on the last hit, immediately last hit. So come on, I had a great UFO phase in practice. Oh, actually, that's actually perfect. One more. And time.
Jeez.
Oh my god! Yeah, sub-hour. The redemption run is real.
Yes.
The redemption run is real. That was 2 seconds off my gold, and that is with that second cannon hit actually missing the mark by like 1 frame. I was 1 frame to the left. That would have been a gold. Actually, not that far off from like the non-advanced UFO strat community gold gold strat for that. Oh my god.
Sub 59.59. Let's go.
I do want to shout out all the other SRT 3NE runs and GDQ past. Zik on AGDQ 2021. I'm blanking the name and I apologize. From Frost Battles a couple of years back. I did a run of this last year. None of them hit sub-hour RTA. None of them. So to actually be able to pull this off, even have to go for Purple Rock is absolutely mind-blowing, and I could not be more ecstatic with the end result. And I couldn't be happier to be able to show this game off. The reactions, Asuka, that you've shown throughout the entire run, it fills my heart with joy because I love seeing like the utter like what did I just see? Wait, what do you mean you already collected 10 eggs and we're not even 5 minutes into the run? And just to be this game is incredible. Shout outs to Spyro speedrunning in general and the greater PlayStation Nation speedrunning community in general. I'm very happy that we had so much PlayStation representation at AGDQ and that we had a whole weekend this past weekend dedicated to just PlayStation runs. Just to kind of go to show how incredible this family community of speedrunners really are. And I couldn't be happier to be back on Hotfix, to kind of, treat this as my redemption run, even though, no one really was thinking that, but I viewed it as my redemption run. I wanted to get the sub-hour. A lot closer than I thought it was, than I wanted. But I did it, and that's what matters. So final words from me. If you want to see me keep running this category to get for top 5, or run Pokemon TCG, or run Ghostling Yard, or run a bunch of PlayStation 1 Game Boy Color games, including the original Spyro trilogy, feel free to drop a follow. I am currently also doing a challenge series of Pokemon TCG where I go through 25-year-old magazines with deck recommendations to beat Pokemon TCG for the Game Boy Color, and just trying to see if I can actually beat the game with them. It's been a very fun series so far, and yeah, it's weird to call myself a variety speedrun streamer, but that's what I am. And yeah, Oscar, thanks so much for having me. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your week, evening, and go enjoy the last run that we got on Express Lane.
Heck yeah. Thank you for coming on. It's always so fun to watch